welcome back to Make Your Life Work Project. We know you missed us. As I always say, because I always have a special guest, but my guest tonight is near and dear to me. We've been friends like for, how old are we, 25, 20 years or so?
Yes.
Because we're still babes, as you guys can see and tell. And Keith is a very interesting individual. He's done a lot of different things. He has insights that maybe not mainstream. That's why we're always at each other. And so I'm really looking forward to spending time with him. So welcome, Keith Brooks.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me, why did you say yes? Because I know this probably isn't your favorite spot to be sitting in.
Because I knew I would see you again if I said no.
You got it.
No, I mean, I as you mentioned, we've known each
that, by
other.
the way. Go ahead.
We've known each other for more than 2 decades, and in that time, we've supported each other in a myriad of ways. And so, typically, yes is the answer. Before I even know what the question is, it's
and
just
I
a matter
appreciate that.
then it's just what's the question, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
And I try not to ask for too much,
Right.
because I know he has a no in him. So we know some of your history. Tell us about. I think the one thing that most people know is about your stint with the Cardinals.
Yes.
So can you tell me a little bit about that and how that came about? I'd be interested to know the beginnings of that.
Sure. Yeah. So I was actually working at the YMCA, Monsanto at the time on Page.
Okay.
And a friend of mine reached out to me and said, Cardinals under their new ownership, they created this position. They think it would be perfect for me. You should send your resume to Cardinals Care, and I did. And
so can I ask you, what were you? So when that happened, do you remember the moment? What you were thinking when they said Cardinals? You know what I mean?
No, actually, it didn't resonate with me at the time because, admittedly, I'm not a baseball fan, right? And the foundation was very young. I didn't know much about it, and so I was acting on the credibility of my friend who introduced me to the opportunity, not necessarily because it was the Cardinals.
Gotcha.
I wasn't enamored by
But he just thought you'd be a good fit.
Right, thought it'd be a good fit. And so I did. I sent my my resume in, and it was interesting because it was in the fall of 2002 that I sent them the resume, which was the busy time of year at the Y. It's basketball season at the Y. That was the biggest sport at the time, and I sent it and really forgot about it. And months later, like March of 2003, I got a call, and they asked me, and I remember it because it happened so quickly. They called me on the Monday. I interviewed on the Tuesday. He asked me to come back the next day to have coffee because he had a few more questions, my then boss, and offered me the position the next day. That's how quickly it happened.
So had you at that time had any background or any? I mean, I know you did some community. Didn't you do some?
So yeah,
community work?
my background was in program development. Like I said, I was running youth sports programs at the Y at the time, but I worked over a decade in faith-based nonprofit community development, program development, and so they were
clearly
looking.
You were ready.
Right, they were looking for someone who had experience with developing programs because at the time they had constructed about 6 ball fields, but there was no activity on the ball fields.
Right.
And so that was my charge to come in and program on those ball fields.
Okay.
And so I came in 2003. There were 6 ball fields and no program. I left in 2020. There were 24 ball fields and thousands of kids utilizing them because I developed the program the first year I was there in 2004. We launched that program, and for the next 17 years, I ran that program along with a myriad of other things that I did for the foundation to help raise funds for the kids that we served in the community.
Well, I know that because we met, I think right after you joined, and I know that your reputation was really strong. I just didn't really know why. I'm joking.
Right.
Right, I knew you were well respected.
I stayed out of
even,
trouble.
even prior to that.
Right, I stayed
And
out
you
of trouble.
and you had a really good reputation. I mean, every time I met somebody, you know, and I said something about our friendship or your name came up, there was something positive to say.
Well,
So I'll give you your kudos publicly.
thank you. I appreciate it.
And he did pay me for that. So that's
Checks
why I
in the
did.
mail.
Exactly.
But you know, interestingly, we obviously were chatting a little bit before, and you know, I think knowing when to exit, knowing how to set limitations. You know,
Absolutely.
not that if you stay too long, people gonna find out something about you that they don't like.
Right.
But
Exactly.
but quite honestly, you know, when the thing that you show up for is finished, usually it's time to go.
And see,
And not
I'm not
not everybody's good at that.
I'm not that strategic. My time to go is just, you know, I just kind of go to work one day
Mm-hmm.
and feel like I've conquered everything I want to conquer. Not that I've done everything I needed to do,
Yeah,
but that I've reached my peak
yeah,
and something just comes along and I say, well, you know.
yeah.
So-
I've
so,
never,
yeah.
but I've never had that fear of missing out. Like
Yeah, that's what I mean.
yeah.
I'm not.
And so yeah, so
it's-
and that and
I understand that completely.
leave them wanting, right?
Well, I think it's the desire for me. It's been the desire to try something new. I came, I conquered, I left, which sounds
Right.
horrible, but that's how I always have felt.
Yeah.
I'm competing against Nina, I guess. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know what that is. But I also am attracted to people who find a spot, stay in their spot,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and take it to the 5th or the 10th or the 20th.
Yeah, yeah.
And then-
And I was
so I
more
don't know.
addressing, you know, like the reputation thing, like not, you know, just staying in people's space too long and you know, not overstaying your welcome. And people appreciate that. People appreciate, you know, kind of that mutual respect of, you know, yeah, we came here for a purpose, and if it, you know, evolves beyond that, great. If it doesn't, great as well. You know, it
Right, exactly.
you know, everybody's not meant to have this type of longevity.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's, you know what, that's true though, because I do believe that I was an impetus, right? Because I had a lot of firsts. I was first there. You know what I mean?
Right,
Not that I chased them, but that's always where I ended up.
Right.
So I think that was my role.
Mm-hmm.
Where yours was to plant some longevity and
Yeah.
plant some long term stuff. So I think that's an important thing.
Yeah.
I think when you are coming up, you know, when you are graduating and you're looking for opportunities, one of the things I say is don't just go find what you're going to do for the rest of your life,
Right.
because life evolves and you should be open to evolving.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But also, if you find something that's your joy, don't feel bad for hanging on to that.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like you said, it's mostly what you're led to do.
Yes.
Okay, so tell me about what happened when you disappeared from Cardinals Care. What was your next? What are you doing now? Tell us about
So
it.
interestingly enough, like when I left Cardinals Care in 2020, I left because, you know, I was at a place professionally and personally where I felt like, you know, I can take on a new challenge, and I did that. I left, went to Big League Impact as its executive director, with the goal of really taking, you know, the cumulative knowledge of the things that I've learned and developing programs and now with years of experience in philanthropy and helping, you know, the players, the baseball players on that platform to do that work in their
So
respective
how was that
communities.
different? Because that's a different.
Because
a whole
Cardinals
different-
Care was more niche.
Yeah,
it
that's
was
what I mean.
more,
But
you know, our mission caring for kids. We were more niche. It was St. Louis based, you know, supporting kids in this community, which I
Absolutely.
continue to do.
This is more broad.
You
This
know,
is more-
in service on boards and things of that nature. But this is much more broad. It's more,
Absolutely.
you know, national and international, and the opportunity, you know, to do work. There was more, like I said, challenging and allow me to learn and get a feel for what was going on beyond my community, because I'd done that kind of work for
Absolutely.
over 2 decades. And so like I said, it was a new challenge in a similar space, but, you know, just with some growth opportunities.
Okay, so I have a question. So tell me, I have a lot of questions,
Yeah.
but on a very personal level, can you tell me if there was a shift in who you are, how you operate, you know what I mean? Or, you know where I'm going?
Yeah.
Okay, if there was a shift when you left from where you were to where you are, and kind of share what that looks like and what that feels like.
Yeah, the shift was more about who I work with.
Oh, so it wasn't internal that.
Not so much because service was at the core always.
Right. Absolutely.
Right. But you know, this new opportunity allowed me to be more authentic in that service. You know, so it wasn't shifting who I was, just a shift in who I work with and my ability to insert more of Keith. You know,
okay, and I think that's kind of what
right.
What I was,
yeah, but I was
I
always
just giving you the question before I asked the answer for it.
right. No, so I was always that person. I was just limited to working with groups that.
What was in your purview? That makes sense.
Absolutely.
I understand that. Mm-hmm. Okay, so are you enjoying it? You said yes.
Well, yes. I'm fortunate that I've always done things that I love. I love doing this work, and I love the team that I work with, and then the ability to kind of direct people who have a heart for service.
Yes.
Toward like that passionate project, that maybe they couldn't find on their own. Like, we have players who are passionate about education, but maybe not have the right connections, and we connect them.
Okay.
And or we have players who are like passionate about service, but like just need that little guidance, that need some hand holding, some support. And so I get to take, like I said, that collective knowledge and help guide people who are literally the next generation of philanthropists toward their passions.
And that is what you just said is supremely important, because a lot of times we do get in these positions and we stay because it's the best thing to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's a good position. You get to travel. You get to do everything you want to do. Yeah. But we never think about the people that we're integrating with, and how we can help them evolve if they want to. Because sometimes people do need a push.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so that to me is probably the best thing I've ever been able to do on any job.
Yes.
Is to say, okay, I see that maybe this wing is a little broken, but they're still trying to fly. The other wings are still flapping. And if I have the power to do that, then let me just try to get to know them and see what they want to do. Yeah. And see if I can open that door. That's, to me, one of the most beautiful things you can do in any position at all. Yeah. So I commend you for being fortunate being the kind of person that would do that.
Yeah.
So I want to ask, I'm going to pull from my little, and I've already warned him that I can ask any question that I want. Tell me one more question before I go here. Tell me what has been, or I don't know if you can tell me that publicly, but tell me what has been the most rewarding or amazing or phenomenal experience that you've had in life, period. I know those are big words, and you may probably be looking at something to think is small, but I know you're a Darcy. I know you've done some
in life. I mean, like my kind of immediate, thought, goes to my daughter. Like I adore her. She's brilliant, and I think
she's brilliant. I'm joking.
She don't get it from me. No. I know that's what you were thinking. No, but no. That's
very smart.
That's my most immediate thought. Only because when you talk about all of life, right?
Okay. So let's. I know how you adore your daughter.
But if you're saying more professional versus personal.
Personal, but not in that sense.
Yeah.
Because every parent loves their.
Right.
You know what I mean? But something that is personal and not professional, because I know you don't like to go there.
Right.
That's why you give me this side look at you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, it's the most rewarding thing is also the most challenging. Is that I've kind of steadfastly served the people I love throughout my entire life.
Okay.
Sometimes in ways that, um, aren't as, um,
That sounds like what we were just talking
yeah,
about.
in ways that aren't as, are healthy for myself, but I can look back and be proud of, even though it wasn't always as healthy for me. It was the thing that still drove me, and now, years later, the fruits of those labor, I see, the relationships that have sustained me, and now the ability to look back without regret.
Absolutely. That's your maturity though, because
Right.
I think part of my frustration now with life in general is that I'm not seeing the fruits of labor sometimes, and I know some of it is long term.
Yes.
It took you a long time to get in those positions, so it takes you a long time to get out of
Right.
it. Young adult, whatever.
Yes.
And I have to feed my spirit because I'm distraught. I'm like,
Right.
So I know exactly what you're talking about. And that's kind of what I was saying. What is it that makes you say, well done?
Yeah.
Because I know you're not good at saying well done, Keith, because we've been friends a long time. So.
Well, I mean, but like you, I don't do things for that purpose, right?
Yeah, right.
But
it's healthy though sometimes to just say, hey, you're okay.
But now, as like I'm in a stage of my life where, I'm focusing on more on myself and my peace.
Good.
Like I said, being able to look back without regret, knowing that I did. I set out to avail myself in ways that weren't about me, were about the people that I care about, and about the things that were important to me. And now, I'm in a place where I'm at peace with those decisions, those choices, and
I'm not there yet. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I'm getting there. But so the follow-up question to that is how do you know when too much is more than enough? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because like
I don't
if I
know.
pour water in this,
Yeah.
if I put too much water in this, it's gonna overflow. Okay.
Right. I think it's interesting that you don't necessarily know. The more important thing is, knowing when that time hits to pull back. Like you find out when you get there.
Exactly.
Right.
I just went.
And it's important just to know, okay, I'm there, pull back.
So you don't beat yourself up anymore because
Exactly.
you allowed yourself to get there.
Yeah.
See, I'm still working.
Yeah, because if I knew, I probably wouldn't have gone there. But
Right.
but I think, like I said, more importantly, just recognizing that when you get to that point, pull back so that you preserve that part of you that's willing to go there again.
And that oh man, that's good. And because I struggle with that.
Yeah.
I tend to be, I'm not perfect, but I tend to be, I tend to, I don't know, just want to celebrate people a lot.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I get home and I say, well, I can't believe you really did that,
Right.
That you need to be very thoughtful about
Yeah.
what you're doing. But there are so many people that I pick up their spirits, like I don't know if you've ever seen this on LinkedIn, but I made up tip a fast food worker day. I put it on LinkedIn like it was annual. And so every year I put it up there, because I think they are the most unappreciated, one of the most unappreciated contingencies of people in the world. And so I thought, well, I'll just put it up there and see if people do it. So yeah, I think we both kind of shoot from the hip a little bit and just kind of do what we're led to do,
Right.
and hope that it's in the right vein, in the right space, in the right time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So can I ask you some questions more?
I
Is there
thought
anything
that's
you want me
pretty
to
cool.
address? No, those are off the cuff. So now you're really in trouble because I'm.
This is your show.
Come on, you're the first person in the seat to say that.
Right. No, you.
Okay, let me see. Oh, I did one. That was one of my questions. So what you're doing now, I think you kind of hinted at this, but I think we may have been off camera just chatting.
Mm-hmm.
If Okay, so with what you're doing now, is that anywhere close to what you imagined that you'd be doing in your life
No,
when you were writing
not even
comics?
close.
Okay.
Especially because I mentioned, like, I'm not even a baseball fan. I'm working with baseball players almost
Yes.
exclusively.
Uh-huh.
So no, I wouldn't have even imagined.
I kind of see that as an advantage, though, in some respects,
No,
because you don't have any
definitely.
preconceived notions, right?
Oh,
So,
definitely. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So how do you feel about that? Is there something like in the back of your mind that you say, well, I left that on the table, I need to go pick that up?
Well, at the end of the day, people are people, right? They happen to have jobs as baseball players, but but at the end of the day, these are people who are passionate about service, like I'm passionate about service. So, you set that aside,
Good.
and help them find their passion.
So are you good at compartmentalizing?
Oh, yeah. You kind of
I
have.
already knew that, but I just wanted you to.
You kind of have to be right.
Well, I don't know that I am.
Mm-hmm.
I think that unfortunately everybody is a potential person to be good.
Right.
And to trust and things like that. So that's probably why I've never been anywhere 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Because my name is Dr. Dustin. Okay. What is your fondest life memory? I'm sorry. And why?
Life memory.
Life memory. I can't type. I'll put it in there.
My fondest life memory.
And let me give you the second part because this might be helpful.
Okay.
How did it impact your life position? And you also have the option to say, well, I don't want to talk to you about that.
Well, no, it's not that I want to talk to you. It's,
I'm just saying, I know my friend.
because you pointed out, like, those kind of things I don't reflect on a lot. So it's not like I have a loaded answer for
That's why
for
I
that.
asked.
Right.
Exactly.
I can I share a string of memories?
You can. This is your show.
Because I think there was a period in my life where, my routine was one that that I was like just thoroughly engaged with and excited about. Like, I when my daughter was, I don't know, 8 or 9 years old, and we for Christmas got her a waffle iron. And people thought that was the weirdest gift, right? But, we did pancakes and waffles every weekend, right? And so it wasn't for me, but that string of, that period of time where, the things that were important to me, me as a son, me as a father, me as a brother, all those things, like I gleaned so much joy from those titles in my life, that having that consistency of being that person
You are
every
that
day, every week, every month for a period of time. And so, I can, draw from that a lot when, especially, now, when you're in that more reflective stage of your life, when you're,
I like the way you said
right,
that.
yeah,
I'm
right.
that.
You can glean from that, and so when you're trying to find that center, you go back. One of my happy places is the kitchen, right? So you go back to those
So I've
moments.
heard you can cook. Is that true?
I've been told by people who eat my food, like,
And I think
I don't want
you've
to
been
boast
promising.
too much.
I think you've been promising for about 20 years. I believe that is right.
No,
you can
no.
go home and look and do the math.
I've been being voluntold that I should cook. That's different from promising.
No. If I remember it, you were bragging on your cooking, and I'm a foodie.
Okay.
So it would seem right that I would say, "What can you cook?" And you said something that I.
All right. So after Thanksgiving,
okay,
you
you
and your
owe me a
husband got to
meal.
come over for dinner.
After Thanksgiving, he said, "We can come eat."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got that?
Okay.
Okay.
You got it on
Thank
tape?
you. Appreciate that. Because I'm a foodie. I like food.
Right.
All right. Okay, let's see. What is one thing you've always wanted to do but can't seem to convince yourself to do it? If you can answer that question. You've probably done everything you want to do.
You know what? Like, every once in a while, I think about doing, like, some just reckless, like, not.
Have you jumped out of a plane before?
No, not reckless like that. No, not. I said reckless, not stupid. No, I value my life.
Forgiving everybody else.
But reckless in terms of, like, I've lived a relatively disciplined life.
Yes.
Yes. Like, just outside of, like, a reckless purchase or
Right.
something like that. Not not jumping
Free
out the
falling,
plane.
yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Is there
So
anything though that you, as you age, you say, well, man, I should try that. I think I'll try that. That may be like, something that you wouldn't normally do in your course.
well, not anything particular. I will say this. It's interesting. I took my first, like I said, I love cooking, but I've never baked.
Okay.
I baked my first cake from scratch about a month ago.
So I'm having this vision of like, was it Mark's song?
No, I have pictures.
I just,
Right.
My
No.
mind's answered.
No. I mean, but
It didn't sink or it was good.
no.
Okay.
I mean,
That was me.
again,
That was my flesh talking. I'm sorry.
everybody who tried it said it was good.
I didn't say it wasn't tasty. I said that's
It
what it
looked-
looked like.
It looked the part.
Okay.
It looked the part.
So it looked like something you cooked, or it looked like a cake.
It looked like a cake
Okay.
and like something I cooked. Both and. You guys look.
And that's the attitude that keeps us friends.
Right,
I appreciate
exactly,
that.
right.
Okay, well, good. Let me see. One more thing. Well, I say that, but we're good, right? You good? You okay?
I'm good.
Okay. What is one skill that makes you unique? And I know that's a tough question for you because I don't think you often understand how unique you really are.
Well,
But let's go.
so
for it.
if I had to pick one skill
Oh, my bad.
no, seriously, like if I had to pick one skill that makes me unique, see, and that's the thing, I don't know that it's unique because I don't know that other people don't have similar skills, right? But
if it's a rarity or
Yeah.
if people don't usually gravitate to that, I don't want to do that. If it's that kind of thing.
yeah, I mean, like it's weird the ability to disconnect emotionally
Yes.
because because it allows me to have a focus about things, and it's helped me a lot. To
And
be
most
able
of
to-
us just get angry and don't call for a couple of days.
Right, no,
So
that-
that's
yeah.
not healthy.
So that ability to kind of disconnect emotionally from things, so that I can like have thoughtful responses as opposed to
okay.
just reactions.
Okay. Interesting. Now I can disconnect from like relationships. I've done it.
No, I
You know what
mean,
but when you're
it's
talking
easy to
about-
disconnect from
but
people.
you're
I'm
not
saying
talking
in the
about-
moment,
right? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because distance is easy, right? But I'm saying disconnect from your own emotions,
Right.
not.
I understand.
Yeah.
You're taking me to a higher level. Preach.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Okay.
didn't say
See.
that. I didn't
There you
mean to
go.
say that.
There you go.
What is your greatest strength, Keith? And how can you use it to improve the community? I guess, well, I'm not going to segue into anything else. I'm going to leave that right there.
Well, I think lifting up others, like that's my greatest strength. I can set aside my needs, for the sake of someone else because I get fed other ways. Like I don't think you always need to reap where you sow.
Absolutely.
And so
Absolutely.
so lifting up others
120%.
is my greatest strength, and again, that's how I support my community. I think we can multiply ourselves by, not keeping things to ourselves, by sharing things with others, by celebrating others, even when they surpass us. Like,
So isn't that kind of a selfish pleasure? So you know what I mean? Because for me,
Okay.
I love working with young adults. I
Mhm.
love ministry,
Mhm.
and so I don't feel like it's a service because it takes me so high in my spirit. You know what I mean?
well, so yes,
is
but-
that how you feel about it?
but they don't have to be mutually exclusive, right?
They don't at all.
Yeah.
I just threw it
Right,
out.
yeah. So yeah, you can get joy from it,
Yeah.
but that doesn't make it selfish.
Okay.
As a matter of fact,
Thank you for releasing me from that.
Pastor, the
Pastor.
like being
You call me a
selfish
pastor for like it's only one up here.
isn't being selfish biblical? How can you love others
Selfish
like
is different from self-focused.
how
So
can
you're
you
right.
love your neighbor
Absolutely.
like yourself if you don't love yourself?
Absolutely. So
That's
it's
right.
different from being self-focused.
Exactly.
So how,
Exactly.
so how you learn that, preacher?
Listen, life.
We'll see. Check back with me in about a year,
Don't.
and he is going to be in alignment. I'm wrong for that.
No. Go ahead.
Okay.
Like I said, whose show is this? Go ahead.
Yours.
No.
He laid down the law.
Continue.
Just so you all know, anybody that knows Keith Brooks knows he laid down the law when he walked in the door.
Well, we haven't named names. Go ahead.
Yeah. What superpower would you like to have? Or do you already have superpowers?
You know what? If I could, this answer changes so frequently, right?
So how many have you desired?
Right, like now at this stage of my life, if I could teleport and be anywhere at any time, that would be my superpower.
One of my students just said that, and I never even thought of it.
Right, if I could be anywhere at any time, like this interview would end and I would be on the beach.
Hold it now.
Momentarily.
No, you don't want to have the ability to do that.
Right. Oh, you asked me.
Yeah, but I didn't know you were just gonna say you ready to leave my interview. So.
No, I said when.
He said he'd be going. We have it on tape, and when I find it, I'm going to put that in one clip by itself.
Go ahead.
So what else besides that? Anything else?
What superpower besides that?
Would you love to have, and how would you use it?
Well, like I said, if I had that power, to be anywhere, I would do that. I would like I said, a life serving, and the balance of that is time alone to recharge. If I can teleport anywhere and recharge, even for a short period of time, I do that and then return. Yeah.
Okay. So, this is my last question. I think, unless my spirit picks up something else.
Okay.
I'm not gonna ask you that.
No, go ahead.
No. Is there something that wasn't my question? Let's pick up my paper to find my original question. Is there anything that you are pulled toward that you?
I'm waiting.
Anything that you're pulled toward that you have? I don't want to say neglected because it's not a neglect. That you have not felt like it's time to address or do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, like,
I'm trying to make sure I don't box you in on anything.
I'm pulled toward, kind of what my would-be final act. I'm not quite ready for it yet.
I like that.
I would like to at some point, settle into doing something that I enjoy. And because I love the jobs that I've done.
Yes.
Throughout my
absolutely.
But pull towards something that I enjoy that is like fully me.
I get something that is not only financially but spiritually.
Yes.
Fulfilling.
That's fully me.
Okay.
So pull toward that, and I think most people are. It's just what's that art for you individually. And there's still some work that I'm doing that I want to complete before I get there, but So
you're not running? Are you running?
Running for office?
No.
Running? You mean physically running?
No, emotional. Trust me, he knows exactly what I'm asking you.
No.
No.
Actually,
you're saying eventually I'll get there, but
no. I'm not definitely not running away from it.
Okay.
No.
I just wanted to be clear that.
Again, I'm just being thoughtful about it because I don't want to start it before I'm ready to be fully in it. I don't want to have to start and stop and start again. I want to be in a place where I feel like, okay, once I start, I can go full in. And so that's where I'm not yet.
Can I say something for you?
You can.
That's never gonna happen.
Well, no. So
full in is full in.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. We can talk offline.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, but you asked the question.
I did.
Am I running? And no, I'm not.
No, I believe you.
Because I do. I have.
You tend to be a perfectionist, kind of though. You tend to me.
Yeah. Well,
things we talk about. And there's nothing wrong. I don't say that in a negative way at all.
Yeah.
Because I like people who want their I's dotted and their T's crossed.
Well, you know,
Let me go on record as saying that, so I don't mean that.
and so my life has been one.
You have a high standard for yourself.
Well, not only that, but of where I've always felt a very strong responsibility for others,
Right.
and so there's a shift that happens when you stop having that level of responsibility for others, but you don't stop having the feeling of being responsible. Right.
Oh,
yeah. And so I need to move beyond that, and that's part of the process.
I'm picking on you.
Yeah, that's part of the process. That's part of the process.
That's good. Yeah. Yep. So is there anything that I did not ask you? Are you I want to ask you that. Is there anything that I did not ask you that you would like to share? Because I want to make sure. I know you came under duress.
Well, so
but you might not come back. So I'm going to get every answer I can get.
No, I do want you to get from this time what you wanted. So
Absolutely.
So I mean, you know, you don't have to ask me the question you keep saying I'm not going to ask you. But if that's what you were hoping to get from it, get what you need. Okay. Whether I come back or not is not going to be dependent on one question.
Okay.
Or maybe it will.
All right, well. Tell us who you are in 2 sentences or less.
In 2 sentences or less.
2 short sentences. I know you'll make a 2-page sentence.
You know, I am a man who's both led by faith and a strong desire to leave every place I've been better than it when I came, if I have the ability to do so. So that's who I am.
Not a bad answer. I can use that. That's how I can explain myself.
There you go.
I just got my answer that I can use everywhere I go. Thank you. What do you like most about yourself? And why? I know. I'm getting
honestly everything. Like I've gotten so comfortable.
And the funny thing is, it's not even arrogance. He is so far from being arrogant.
Yeah, no. I mean, I've gotten so comfortable with who I am. I like everything about myself, even the flaws, because it keeps me grounded in the way that allows me to appreciate so much of what I experience and things like that. I really do. I like everything.
That is a blessing.
Yeah.
Most people can spend the eternity on earth and not get there.
Yeah.
I'm better than I was, but I find that I'm very hard on Nina.
Yeah. And it's funny because I like myself, I can be self-deprecating, I can have fun, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, I enjoy being who I am. And, you know, I get the kind of feedback from the people who care about me.
Right.
Wink, wink. That validates that. Right. Okay. You got receipts. I got receipts.
Ooh, did you learn that? Okay. And finally, do you remember cartoons?
A few.
Okay. If you could hang out with a cartoon character, do you know enough to choose?
If I could hang out with a cartoon character.
I found some old cartoons. You know how I used to put the cartoons in the newspaper? Mm-hmm. That's how much stuff I have from in my house.
You know, like.
Or any person.
No, it's. I mean, for a cartoon character, it's tough because, again, that's one where.
Would Popeye be your guy?
No. No, he was tripping.
Who else? Donald Duck. Let's think. I knew it was a tough question.
Yeah, no, I mean because like on the one hand, like
superhero or something.
I mean, well, only because like I want to hang out with Batman, not to hang out with him when he fight crime. I just want to be in this.
Did you guys hear that?
I want to hang out with Alfred. I want to be at the crib with Alfred while Batman doing this thing. I don't need to go out on the street with him.
You just want to be affiliated.
I don't need to be the vigilante. I just want to.
You want that affiliation, right? Yeah, Batman, right? Yeah.
And all the bells and whistles.
And that is what most people want. They just want to say they have an affiliation, which is why we see all these guys and brands all the time on Facebook and in the media. This has been so enjoyable. Is there anything that I did not, if there's anything I did not ask that you wanted to say that you didn't get a chance to say about how wonderful your friend Nina, anything like that?
Well, no, definitely not anything else in that case. No.
That's what I like about you. You can give
I did not come with preconceived notions. Like I came here genuinely
and I'm proud of you for that.
To sit here.
That's huge.
Right, and enjoy this time.
I think he asked me one question before. That is huge.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you.
But no, seriously.
Don't mess it up.
Again.
Don't mess it up.
Me being here is the compliment to you. Like you said you wanted me to come, I came. And no wasn't an option.
It wasn't.
Because of who you are, because of who you've been, and I love you. You know I love you, and so it was an easy ask and an easy yes.
You trying to make me cry because you know.
I'm not trying to make you cry. I can't help because you're salty.
Well, I am a waterhead, but thank you for that. Especially since it's going to go public. And my value will probably raise up because of who you are. So thank you for continuing to be one of my dearest friends that I've ever met since I've been in St. Louis and beyond. And I wish you happiness.
Thank you.
I wish you joy. And I wish you, what else do I want to wish?
Don't start saying
No,
because those lines from Whitney Houston, I wish you.
I just got it. My friend, and I wish you a Merry Christmas. Thank you for my videographer. So that's all we have. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Thank you for watching our videos. We put our heart and our soul into it, and we're very particular about who we allow to sit in this space. I am just so overwhelmed with joy that all of these people will come here with us. So have a safe Thanksgiving, have a delicious Thanksgiving, and we'll see you soon. Take care.